and welcome back to day 2 of my Christmas home tour video. Last week I started on my side porch. This week I'm going to start on my front porch. This is a more unused porch that people that don't come to our house often would use. Oh, like salespeople or first-time visitors. I just have a little wrought iron seating on this porch with a little snowman. He's actually a little bird feeder. We put seed in right there, but I don't do that because I don't want the critters on my porch. And over here I have a wall hanging that is actually filled with real flowers during the summer, and in the winter I just put these artificial green bows in it along with a red cardinal. And over here, right by the door, I have a sign, a little wooden sign that says peace. And then right below that, I have a red bird feeder, or bird house that's on a stand. All right, let's go in. It's quite cold out here today. The front door enters right into my dining room. I know, not the best situation. That's why we built the side entryway that I already showed you. This is my formal dining room. It has a hutch right here. And it used to hold, old plates and stuff, but then we just turned it into anything that'll hold anything. I don't even want to show you the inside because it's quite messy. On top of that hutch I have candles, and then I just bought all these. I actually just bought this one just intact, and this one it's just a candle ring holder, and I just stuck picks in like that. And this one's really pretty. It's got lots of glitter. All the way around the room is a plate rail, and I changed these plates out with the season. I'm going to start here because this is where, right above the hutch. And over here's a pretty red poinsettia one. And then here's another similar one but smaller with the tree. And there's a pretty green and red one. And then on this side I have this red one, another poinsettia one, and a real pretty nativity one I picked up at Hobby Lobby. I'm going to scan above. This is the entryway to my living room, and right above that I have this angel swag. I just took a tree topper and placed it inside a green swag and just added ribbon and flowers. Very simple. And I'm just scanning around the room so you can see the other plates. Alright, these plates I picked up at Walmart of all places, and they all coordinate with each other. They say peace, love, joy, and hope. And now we are back to the hutch that I showed you when we first started. I just went around the whole room. In this room is a grandfather clock that we purchased when my father died, and we bought it in memory of him so that we would have something to remember him by. A grandfather clock for a grandfather, we called it. In this room we also have our piano. I know a dining room's an odd place for piano, but both my kids played the piano most of their lives, and it was just the best location to have it because then they could be near us and near the warmth of the fireplace. And on top of that piano, again, I just put a swag or greenery and laid it right on top, added some pretty white lights, and if you haven't guessed it by now, the colors in this room are gold and browns. And you'll see why I chose browns when we go into the next room in the next video. And on this opening is what opens up into the office, which also connects to the entryway in the family room. You can see the very back wall of the family room way in the background. And again, I just strung garland all the way down to the floor, and then all the way up, and I just filled it with everything gold that I owned practically. And I put right in the center a pretty gold wall hanging. And I'll just take a peek into the office. We don't use this space too much anymore because I work primarily off a laptop. I just have a coat rack that holds my pretty hats and bags. And then there's a hutch in there that holds what few books I still read, and an old desktop computer that we never use except when we want to do something word processing. And over here I have another hutch, and my husband built all these hutches by hand himself. And the only Christmas decorations I have in this room is I just set this little green swag right in the nook. There was just the shelves are so full with other stuff, there wasn't much room for anything else. And then over here in my window, and this is, you'll see that this is the side porch that you're looking out into that I showed you in my very first video. And in that window sits this pretty snowman that I picked up at a flea market a long time ago. It's just painted on a window pane of glass. And right below him is just a window seat. And all these pillows and all the curtains in the entire house, by the way, were all handmade by me. I don't like to buy curtains because they're very expensive and I never like the quality, and so I just prefer making them myself. And then right above that opening, I have this sign that I picked up at Kirkland's. It says, "Oh Holy Night." Alright, I'm going to back up. So now my back is right in the doorway of the office. And you can see the dining room tree, the same dining room tree you got a peek at in my previous video. So let's head over there. Right next to my dining room tree is another hutch, and this one does contain dishes. These are special occasion beautiful red dishes that I picked up at Target after Christmas. So you're noticing a theme here. I pick up a lot of things after Christmas because that's when they're on sale, and we use them on holidays and special occasions. And on top of the hutch I have another swag, and I just added this pretty sign that says Noel and some pretty gold deer. And finally, the dining room Christmas tree that you've been catching peeks at. Here it is. It's all in shades of gold and brown. And the reason I picked those shades was because the room that's next to this one, which you will see in the next video, is brown for the most part, and it just complements the room and ties the room together. And this room is this tree is a snowflake theme. It starts with the snowflake tree topper, which is actually a wall hanging, and it's just an example of how you can use anything to put on top of a tree. It doesn't have to be a designated tree topper. And this one was a wall hanging, and I just thought it would look great at the top of a tree. And I've got lots of sparkle in this tree. It's very glamorous. It's a glam tree. There's a brown poinsettia, and then I have lots of different snowflakes. There's a bronzy golden snowflake, and then there's a copper snowflake right here. This tree is so full of stuff. When I get to the end of decorating it, I'm always like, oh, where do I put this? There's not a single spot left. But I always somehow manage to find a spot. So just scroll all the way down, and as you can tell, when we get to the bottom, you'll see more tulle. Because I always put tulle at the bottom of my trees instead of making a skirt. And I forgot I did have one more thing I wanted to show you. And that is my chandelier. And it's going to be so hard to get that on videotape because of the lights. Maybe I can try turning the lights off and see if I can get it without so much glare. But basically I just string, oh, that looks better. I basically just string gold beads all the way up to the top, and then I put on each individual light some greenery, and then I add the white poinsettias and the gold beads. And here you can see those gold beads are stringing all the way down there again. And then at the very top I put a bird. And if you're wondering, you're probably looking at my ceiling. Yes, my husband did that too. He's an amazing, amazing carpenter. I'm quite blessed with him. I showed him this picture in a magazine, and I said that's what I wanted, and so he did it. And it's basically just wallpaper, and it is separated by wooden molding. And I did help him get it up there, and it wasn't easy because one of us had to stand with our hands above our heads while the other one either pounded or glued away, and it was quite the challenge, something I never want to do again. And he also put the plate rail in for me also. This entire room, I'm going to back up and just scan before I close, actually came out of a picture of a magazine. I saw this gorgeous plate rail. Oh, now you can't see because the light's not on. We'll turn the light back on. I saw this room in a magazine, and I said, that's what I want, and I showed the picture to my husband, and so he replicated it. Well, I'm out of time, so I'm going to stop, and I'll see you a little bit in my living room, the room where we spend the most time.